Good morning. I will try to share with you today not only our vision and what we have accomplished, but very much what could enable us today to provide passengers with the most, let's say, convenient, cost-efficient, and confident payment experience. Utransactor is very much in the payment, mobile transaction market segment, and we have been for the last few years delivering mobile transaction systems, applications, and services to a number, as you will see, very large transport service providers, but also city authorities, and not to be forgotten, system integrators. So what I intend to share with you are very, very basic information about who we are, why we are here, how we make it happen, what ultimately is being delivered, and hopefully engage with you a discussion on what is next generation passengers experience expectation. So if I am going to share with you for this next 15-20 minutes some insights, what I would really appreciate is after this show ends, come to us and share with us your own expectation. It's a dialogue, and this event, I think, is a unique place and time to have those conversations. This said, what I'm going to share with you is very much based on what we have learned, what is our knowledge, our expertise, our experience on how we enable passenger experiences, as Ralph said, to be more, let's say, even nicer. Travel is sometimes, by many of us, considered as a waste of time. Next generation travels will be the reverse. It will be an experience where you not only feel at home, but you feel in a next generation space, a space where operators will have combined all the possible experience that you can enjoy. So with this in mind, I'm going to go through a little bit of our story. In a nutshell, Utransactor is a designer, a manufacturer, a software publisher. We, from end to end, control the design, the manufacturing processes, and the software publication of the hardware and the software that enables mobile transactions to take place in or through transportation or mass transit services. We were created by Gérard Compin, who is himself coming from Ingenico, so we have a pretty good background of what point-of-sale terminals mean, but more importantly, what is next-generation sweet spot in terms of hardware, where you combine mobile point-of-sales, PDA, and a smartphone. So this is where our expertise and knowledge is very much on enabling at consumer and transportation authority and operators level how to make payment a business enabling feature of a mobile application. We do this via a large network of system integrators who are worldwide. Thales, Atos, SIS Payments in Switzerland and elsewhere, but also AEG, and many others with VIX Technologies with whom we partner, we integrate ourselves. We are back-end agnostic. We deliberately engage the development of our solutions so that we could fit in, we could enable the capabilities of our system integration partners, who are themselves usually responding to public tenders, who are themselves designed by city or transportation authorities. Now, to make a long story short, before I get in the who, the what, the how, and so on, I would like to share with you the vision. This slide shows the why that supports the who. We are that vision. We are the people who are delivering the account-based and media-based next generation smart ticketing services, systems and applications. So if you can see on that slide, the evolution is extremely fast. It's global, and this is the challenge. We are able to convert, let's say, into a technology solutions, a business requirement, the one who is defined by the transportation operator. The transportation operator business requirement is itself based on passengers' experience. That's why I think this session is quite interesting, is how do we translate the passenger experience requirement into a business and then a technology solution. And I will go back to this why a little further down the street. The value proposition, as you can see here, is very much to comply with the transportation operator requirements, integrate the payment application inside the business application. So we merge into one device the mobile application and the payment application that facilitates and streamlines the passenger experience requirement. We do that in a variety of form factor, and we do that more importantly by complying with security and payment standards, without which nothing would work. So the scalability and the capability to deploy at a fast pace our solutions for the transportation authorities or operators are very much based on that unique capability to be at the sweet spot between point of sales, PDA, smartphones, complying with both mobile and payment applications. Our references, just to show you that in a very short time, we have been able to provide some of large service providers and, of course, transport operators with our solution at quite a large scale outside France. In France, we have a few customers, such as in Bordeaux, in Grenoble. We have Transport for London as a customer, but also Stockholm, local traffic, SNCB, which is very much one of our largest customers, Thalys, in 4 major European markets, and the SBB, which is the Switzerland National Highway. So we have, as far as now, in the transportation sector, 8 large customers which we have learned from on how to deliver next generation ticketing services. We are probably among the few providers who are able to accommodate passengers' experience next generation requirements. Going back to the why, what is important here is to see that whatever is the branch you take, whether it's an EMV contactless or it's a BLE or QR code, we wish that passengers have only one media with them. Unfortunately, many of them are still caching or using paper or using legacy or whatever they have. So at transportation operator level, we need to accommodate this wide diversity of media. Furthermore, all operators, without almost no exception, have an account-based management. Their customer relation is based on web-based interactions. So not only do we need to accommodate the media that the passenger experience manages, but also the type and nature of accounts. The other day when I was on a train, I was explaining that there was a malfunction with my mobile application, and the inspector says, okay, let me check. And he saw exactly what I did on the web when ordering from my mobile my ticket, and said, okay, I'm going to make a note, so next time you go to a travel station, you can ask for a refund or a change. This capability, real-time online, to log into the account of the passenger, verify or validate what the passenger says, and then provide the server with an indication according to which X, Y, and Z services need to be provided is very much today's reality. So the reality check is very, very demanding. We are trying here to accommodate, and that's really the message, all possible services. Why business app need payments? Just to monetize the not only R&D but the passenger expectations in terms of services. Why do transport apps need payment? And I am here positioning this slide at the consumer level because the passenger is expecting to be able to manage all its payment wallets or schemes or systems when traveling. Why do operators need payment? Just, because we are, honestly, at the end of the day, who we are, a revenue collector. We are called revenue inspector device at TfL. This is who we are. We are enabling a transport operator to collect the money or to validate that the money is being collected. So we are truly a money on business enabler. Now, how do we make that happen? We have, of course, a device, and this is only the tip of the iceberg. Don't consider that this hardware is, answering everything. What is below the surface is a back-end server that does manage all the features and benefits that you can suspect here. What is important here on that slide is you see all our 8 customers using a variety of technology but functions also for their project. Because our goal is to translate into a technology solutions, a business requirement, it's a project approach, and the system integrators who are our partners are enabling that capability that we just materialize at the inspection and revenue collection level. Now, what are the requirements we strongly have to comply with? They are, I think, a little bit like in many other vertical segments, based on 3 very strong families of requirements. One that goes with convenience, the user-friendliness of this passenger experience will have to be first taken into account. That's typically the CEO perspective. The cost efficiencies or cost effectiveness is about our capability to have both a modular transportation, last but not least, the confidence. It must last, it must evolve, it must be security standard. Next generation passenger experience is going to be based, we have that strong belief, and obviously the deployments that have taken place, not only in Chicago and London, but also in St. Petersburg and Bucharest, and in other towns soon in the United States, including Seattle and Dallas, is based on the open loop payment architecture. The capability to combine, to manage both closed and open loop is a must-do. It is the requirement for passengers, not only because they are occasional or non-regular, because transportation authorities and operators who do not have the means to issue a closed-loop system will want to rely, first and foremost, on banking cards, namely EMV cards, which are going to be used as a ticket. We know that, but more importantly, which are going to streamline and facilitate the deployment of solutions that enable revenue collection based on web accounts, on account-based services. Now, the London experience is quite well known. What is not known as much is the Thalys European experience, where the inspector, and this is kind of very interesting, whether they are in Germany, in France, in Belgium, in Holland, when they are on board, they know exactly what and who is in the train. They can accommodate the passenger profile, but also the payment capabilities, because it's a wide open system. They are servicing the passenger in a way that we believe is very much symptomatic to what operators and passengers want. So, just to review and synthesize, open loop and closed loop must be managed. They must be able to recharge in case the fare was more expensive than the data enables them to use in their card or their phone. They must be, of course, QR code and barcode based. They must have all the wallet available. The terminal management system, the TMS, is, I think, it's very important that we do not underestimate what system integrators provide in terms of service capabilities. Once the deployment has taken place, what matters is the capability to engage with the passenger, the experience that they are expecting. Talking about next, what is next generation? Well, next generation, I think, system the one that we are working on with Lufthansa, is enabling in an offline mode. Okay, think about boats, think about tunnels, think about places which are not necessarily Wi-Fi enabled real time, but where you have, yes, to provide a service to a passenger in a non-connected environment. So we need here to manage payment in a different manner. What is at stake here is to provide the passengers the experience that they have with iTunes, with Uber, with Amazon. What you need to understand is once they have the account, and once transportation authorities or operators have validated the banking card details, passengers are being able to access that domain without having to repay all the time, but just to authenticate themselves in the most secure and appropriate manner so that they can access the services that operators have designed for them. This is what is at stake. We move here from a kind of payment experience to a web experience. What is important in the BYOD environment in which Lufthansa Systems and ourselves are working for 300 airlines is to enable the airline, mean it the mass transit operator, to provide passengers with the services and products that they are expecting during their travel, during their journey. Last but not least, what we are working on also is to integrate, a printer into a mobile transaction. What we are working is to enable the contactless validation infrastructure to facilitate passengers to be more fluid when entering and exiting a bus or a train or a subway and so on. I'm not talking about here London, but let's say that's the London experience is obviously the showcase. When I'm traveling to Slovenia and to other places, we are very much talking about how do we want to get there. Well, let's talk. Please share with us your own expectations. We are here hopefully to translate them into a technology solution. Thank you very much.